The modern world's energy needs are steadily growing and changing. Most consumers primarily live on power provided by an interconnected network, referred to as an electrical grid. Grid-based energy is the most widely used, but alternative energy sources such as solar and wind are high on the rise. This report compares 3 energy sources and will give recommendations based on the financial cost and overall analysis of the physical advantages for each source. This information is targeted towards a statewide energy company looking to implement a power source in the state of Arizona. The company is exploring a new main source of energy out of wind, photovoltaic, and grid-based energy that will be the best power source for the company and consumers. The analysis was based off of the current standard prices that are assumed to stay constant over a time period of 30 years. It will also be assumed that all of the equipment used lasted the full 30 years without needing replacement. For the financial analysis, initial equipment costs and regular payments over time were both included in the analysis, along with maintenance costs and tax breaks that were associated with the alternative energies. The physical advantages were combined with financial analysis, and a recommendation was made based off of the data as shown in the next slide. Grids source their energy from hydroelectric systems to nuclear or fossil fuels. This power is converted to electricity and transmits from supply companies to consumers. Grid-based energy is seen as the best option because it offers a reliable source of electricity deliverable over a long distance. Low but continued maintenance is required to keep the system running smoothly. Grid-based is known to produce pollution from fossil fuels and coal-based productions or waste from nuclear power. This is the main backing for exploration into alternative sources, however reliable grid-based energy is. The charging rate options advertised to consumers are affordable to the amount of electricity being received. The most well-known challenge to a grid-based is that alternative energy sources are the better option since alternative derives its power from renewable sources. Alternative energy also invokes special tax breaks, which were included in the financial analyses for both photovoltaics and wind-based. Photovoltaics source their energy from the sun and can be collected into large arrays to increase power output. The solar panels do not require a lot of maintenance to keep the system running. Photovoltaics can be combined with batteries that will store power when the sun has been blocked, but this results in a higher initial startup cost not seen from the grid-based. This can be seen in year 1, followed by small costs over the rest of the years. For greater power needs, photovoltaics are arranged into very large arrays which require a lot of open space where the panels have optimum position access to the sun. Despite this need for open land, photovoltaics offer a clean source of energy for consumers with low maintenance for the company. Wind-based sources its energy from the wind, which produces a highly irregular power output. This can be fixed with a regulator that smooths out the variability, along with storage batteries that offer energy on a calm day. The wind turbines require a lot of maintenance to keep the systems running, and even break down with constant maintenance, but do not produce any pollution. Wind-based also has a higher initial startup cost, not seen from grid-based. For larger power needs, wind farms combine many turbines at a proper location with the needed wind speeds to meet the energy demands. Again, land is needed for a wind farm, which some use to argue puts a negative view on the natural Arizona landscapes. But I think having a clean energy source is a strong argument for wind energy, and that it does not look so bad. It is shown that although both wind and solar initially seem like the more expensive options, over the course of 30 years, they are actually less than the total cost of grid-based energy. This makes it seem that alternative energy is the way to go. If this was a recommendation for a single household, then with the right choices, alternative energy would be a reliable and cheap source of energy. But for an energy company providing for the state of Arizona, the demand for electricity will be much higher, and it will be necessary to be very reliable for the consumers. The ratio of reliability to cost makes grid-based the best option for a statewide energy company providing power for the state of Arizona. Both rural and urban consumers will have access to power at an affordable cost. By combining 2 or more of the 3 energy sources, the company can provide a reliable source of energy and cut down on the long-term costs. By adding an array of photovoltaics and/or a wind farm, The grid will have less dependency on non-renewable sources for energy, which will be better for the environment and for the overall cost of both the company and the consumers.